I've had the Nexus 5X as my daily driver for well over a week now, and I will say it is a good phone. It's not a great phone, it's a good phone. For its $300 price tag, you get a 5.2-inch 1080p display, a Snapdragon 808 processor, an Adreno 418 GPU, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs internal storage, a 12.3 megapixel rear camera, a 2700 mAh battery, a fingerprint reader, one front-facing speaker, an LED notification light, and USB Type-C. I love the form factor on this phone. It's compact and I'd be happy carrying around this size as my daily driver. It turns out to be an excellent one-handed phone, but I'm not in love with the build quality. I would have appreciated a more tactile feel on the power and volume rockers, but they do the job. The black version is a fingerprint magnet. I can't speak for the white or blue, but it's easy to hold and the material used on the back feels good in hand. Unfortunately, it also feels less than premium and on the cheap side. I know I'm not supposed to expect the world here, but I would have ponied up a few more bucks for a more premium feeling phone. I'm happy with the display, no complaints. It's bright, looks good, no issues. I don't really have much to say about it, it does what it's supposed to do. The camera's great, pictures look high quality, low light shots are excellent, video quality is just as good. My only gripe is the lack of optical image stabilization, which gives me a very shaky picture when moving around capturing video. I've gone over the fingerprint reader in an earlier video and it's still as fast and accurate when I first started using it. Again, no complaints. I'm disappointed there's only one front-facing speaker, but happy it's not a bottom-facing speaker, so kudos to LG. Speaker isn't the loudest or the clearest, and at times it does sound tinny, metallic-y, but for the most part the multimedia experience is okay. When I say okay, I mean for $300, it's okay. Speaking of okay, let's talk about the battery. I did a few battery tests over the week and I ended up averaging about 3.5 hours of screen on time. Sometimes I could push it to about 3 hours 45 minutes, not the best, and by 7 to 8 p.m. after a full day of work, I'm looking for a charger. So while it could be better, I can at least get through my work day. There were some other times though that I was able to push 18, 19 hours, but I was being real conservative with my phone. Again, the LED notification light is my favorite thing about this phone. It's big and super bright, exactly what I'm looking for in a notification light. If I had to nitpick, I wish it was located on the top grille rather than the bottom, but again, this is a nitpicky thing. Now here's my biggest issue with the phone, its performance. Throughout the week I've had some on and off issues with lag, and this isn't lag with heavy intensive apps, I'm talking occasional lag when switching from Facebook to Instagram or Instagram to Hangouts, that kind of thing. I'm not a heavy gamer, so I don't have that kind of stuff running in the background. They're mostly social and communication apps that get me through my day, which really surprised me because my Moto X Pure Edition uses the same processor and I've never experienced that kind of lag. So I had to think for a second until I realized it's maybe due to Moto X's 3 gigs of RAM versus the Nexus 5X's 2 gigs. Again, not what I expected from the 5X, especially running stock Android. I was thinking it was going to be a fluid experience like my 6P. While I can be a little forgiving on the 5X's speaker and battery, it's really hard for me to not criticize the 5X when it lags. I know no phone is perfect, and when I talk about lag, it's not every time. Please know that I'm not saying the phone lags all day. It's every now and then, or when I load an app. Sometimes it takes an extra second to populate. But every once in a while when it happens, I think to myself, it shouldn't be like this, not on a Nexus, because the Nexus is supposed to shine when it comes to the UI experience. At least that's what I expect. At a $300 price point and 16 gigs of internal storage, okay, I can see there. At its initial $380 price though, no, I couldn't have recommended the phone back then. But at $300, yeah, it's a good phone. It does a lot of things well and touches on a lot of things people look for in a phone. Great camera, awesome fingerprint sensor, I love the LED notification light, appreciate the front-facing speaker, and I'm always happy to see stock Android. And let me reiterate, that whole lag bit doesn't mean it lags all the time. It is few and far between. I just didn't expect any. So don't be surprised when it happens. It's not a deal breaker because the phone still performs very well. I didn't expect it. Update, that $299 price for the Nexus 5X is jumping back to $349 after February 12th. So if you want to take advantage of a phone under $300, grab it before the 12th.